everybody, and welcome to video 1 in our series Winter's Tale, and this is my LineDotArrow design team project. I was going to say design team project for LineDotArrow, and then I got all turned around. Nathalie has created a beautiful kit, and I'm not going to go through it with you because either yesterday, today's the 6th, so either yesterday or the day before, over on the LineDotArrow YouTube channel, Nathalie did a flip through of the kit and then told you about the first challenge. Now, over at her Facebook group, she has a challenge every month, and well, she has more than one, and she gives away freebies that complement the kit. Now, I haven't printed out the freebies yet because I don't have them. All I have is this. Because I'm filming this 3 weeks ahead of time. So the thing I did want to talk to you about, instead of doing a flip through, is the printing. Now, once again, this is European sized, so unless you're printing on A4, A5, I don't know, I get confused, then you're going to have to make a few adjustments. So let me move this one out of the way. And this is beautiful. This is the collage page, and you may not notice it as much on a page like this, but you will in some of the others, and I'll get one so you can see. You'll notice that the border is bigger on the top and the bottom. Now, ignore the fact that mine on the left and the right is a little bit bigger. The whole picture's there. It's just the way my printer prints, for some dumb reason. But what you'll notice is that they're a little bit shorter, and if you don't turn off the fit to page, you'll cut off the edges of the image. So that's bad. You would lose about this much of each side in your printing. So let me show you. Am I looking at the backs? So it wouldn't matter as much on a page like this, and you'll notice the backs are printed all the way. So instead of trying to line everything up, I print a patterned page. When I print a patterned page on the back, I go ahead and print it no border, borderless. So that's going to be fit to page and borderless, because it doesn't matter. Oh, here they are. You do notice that on these, because the border is so much closer on the edge. And here's the ones you really notice it on. Now, this particular page, I had printed all of them out incorrectly. I wasn't paying attention, and I ended up having to print out all the pages again, and there are 29 pages. So you don't want to make the mistake that I made, because I print them out on high quality setting when I'm doing a design team project. Well, when I do any project, versus just printing something quote-unquote regular. But I noticed that the buttons were cut off. The edges of the buttons were cut off, and the edge of this was cut off. And I thought to myself, why would she design it that way? That seems so strange. And I went and looked in my computer, and I realized right away what I had done. I had printed them incorrectly, and all of them were going to be cut off, all of these type pages. So this one, it went all the way to the buttons, and this one, it cut off the edge of the circle, so it went in pretty far. So let me show you, like on an image like this, which is just gorgeous. Why would you want to cut that much of it off? Okay, and on the ephemera pages, now this isn't one, this is. You would have the edges of your postcard would be cut off, because you see how far in it comes on this side. Now, granted, this is the side that my printer prints a little bit bigger margin on. but still it cuts off right where the line is on the edge of the postcards. So I just wanted to talk to you about that really quick before I go back and cut everything out. There's tons of ephemera. You don't need to, if you're printing on the backs, all the ephemera, I printed this beautiful image on the back because it's the lightest one, so you can write on the backs of the cards and such. But the other ones I alternated. I still haven't decided what we're going to do. I'd like to do a book. These are upside down. I'd like to do a book, and I was going to do one where we just fold the pages in half. But then I realized every other page, because I didn't print double-sided. I mean, I did, but I didn't. I didn't print any of the image pages front to back. That every other page was going to be one of these. Not the leaves, but a solid printed page. So every other one was going to be one of these. And that was no good, really. Okay? Even though the images are beautiful, I'm not sure that I want every other page to be one of these. I'm still deciding what we're going to do. I'm going to get everything trimmed out. Then on this particular page, let me move this tape, it's called page 0, out of the way. On these particular pages of ephemera, you don't have to print on the back at all because they're pockets. And I would put these on a page. I wouldn't make a card out of them. I mean, you could, but why? Because then you'd have to print, you know, you might want to print on the back of this one in case you did want to make these into little things that you tuck in, but there's plenty of ephemera. You don't really need to. But if you're going to use these tabs, you might want something other than the white on the back of the tab. Okay? So this one's iffy as far as do you print on the back, don't you print on the back. I am not sure I'm going to use these unless I use them on top of a pocket or something, and then it wouldn't matter. Natalie's nice enough also to put a little black border around all the ephemera, and that way you can use your scan and cut to cut everything out, and I think that's wonderful. And then on a page like this, these are all elements that you're going to put on a page. This one I do have to print on the back of. I have to go back because there's an envelope there that I missed, that I didn't notice. And then here's the card that goes inside. I just looked at these and thought, oh, I don't have to print on the back, so I'm going to set this one to the side. Glad I looked through again before I cut them out. And of course, these pockets you don't need to print on the back of. Okay, so that's all I wanted to talk to you about before I trimmed the pages out and you couldn't see what I was talking about, and decided what we were going to do with our project. So I will be back in 1 second and we will get started with our beautiful project. Okay? All right. All right, we're back. This is part B of video 1. Now, the kit is called A Winter's Tale, but we're going to call our project An Autumn's Tale because it's got a lot more, to me, a lot more autumn in it than it does winter. There's no snow or anything. There is some pine, but anyway, I talked to Natalie about it, and I think it's okay. This is going to be the cover. How could it not be? The front and back. Okay, and then the rest of this, besides what I've set aside for page 1 and page 2, sorry I turned away, is what I have. So I cut these in half. Even though we're going to do a book, we're not going to do a manila folder. So I cut these in half. I still have these as full pages, and we'll cut them in half as needed. Then I also ended up printing them again because I realized there was no way to write on the backs of any of these. So, except for that one with the leaves. So I decided, well, I guess you could write on those. But I decided to go ahead and print them a third time. I know. And put this cream colored, or this brown colored paper on the back, which is supposed to look like coffee dyed paper. Oh no. This one has stripes. Well, we'll pretend like they're writing lines if we use this one as a card. And that's the only one. No, that one does too. Well, if they all do, then they match. Because they do. They all do. And it's a mistake by my printer. The yellow controller is getting low on it, so it's about time to replace it. That upsets me. I didn't notice it before. So we're going to use those as cards. I've got this stencil as one of my favorites, and I think this is the one we'll use on the backs of our writing cards that are the cream color. I think we'll use this one and maybe this one on the backs of the cards. Where am I going to put these? And I've only got time, we've only got 5 videos, maybe 6, to get this done. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to do one signature. We're going to do a one signature book. And then, if we have time, we'll start on a second, and then I'll finish the second. But I don't think that we will. We're not going to make it super complicated, though, because we want to be sure to get done in time. So really, we have 4 videos and a flip through, or we have 5 videos and a flip through. It just depends. So here's the papers. We're going to set those aside. And this is what I've got for our little book. You'll notice the edge of this against cream colored, regular cream colored paper. Let me grab one. If I can grab just one. You'll notice it's not just brown. What I did is I went around it with Vintage Photo, and then I went around it with Rusty Hinge to give it that autumny color. I think I might have made up a word, that autumn-like color. Now I only did this on the pages that were cream. On our coffee dyed page, I did just Rusty Hinge because the page was already brown. So we're going to have our regular, our first page, second page, third, fourth, fifth, which is both, sixth. This is going to be 7. And then our center is going to be this. And then we're going to have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have plenty of pages to keep us busy. So now on this first page, I'm going to set this to the side. We won't need it yet. On the first page, I think I've decided not to use this. Although, yeah, because I feel like you can write on this. I don't know, though. It is pretty. We could just decorate it. We're going to do a flip up. And we're going to have it as wide as this. And then we're going to take this part and make a pocket on here. So that shouldn't be too bad. So we're going to make this how wide is this? Let's call it a half. Let's call it 3/8. So we'll need to go 3/8 out on this side. Let me measure it and mark it. The way my paper trimmer is, it's just not going to work. Alright, so I'm going to go from here. We're going to go 3/8 out. 1, 2, 3. I almost want that cream color around it to set it off. Cut this. Plus it's going to be awfully thin. Thickness wise. And we should almost use it as a flip down because of the amount of border we have up there to work with to fold it under to glue it. However, if I put it on the cream paper, then we can give it that little bit of a border plus the 1/2 inch to fold it under, and give it that little bit of a border around that we can do in the autumn colors. What do you guys think? I really like having this on the back. Let's make it a flip down. So we'll score it a 1/2 inch from the bottom. That means it'll be a 1/2 inch down from the top. So we'll score this at 1/2 inch. And then we'll ink it. Now, I've been inking the papers and stuff since they're already dark. I've been adding just the rusty hinge. It's worked well so far on the couple of tags that I tried it on, just to knock the white edge off. So let's do that. Yeah, that looks pretty. I love the color Rusty Hinge anyway. I was so happy when I got it. You know what I did most of the day yesterday because I wasn't feeling well? I'm laying in bed and I watched all 3 of the Mimic movies. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie or not, about the cockroaches that grow to the size of people. You just have to see it and trust me on it that they're good, scary movies. That weird noise they make. Which apparently is a cockroach noise, but really loud. Or not. Could be a noise they made up. See, that looks pretty. That looks really pretty along with this. I'm glad I remembered that I had it. I was going to do the brown and the rusty hinge all the way around everything, and then I thought, well, we'll be here forever. And I'm not doing extra inking, you know, where I ink around the corners and stuff. I'm just inking the edge alone. Okay, so now we're going to glue it on this way. We're going to have to use a magnet, and then we'll cover the magnet with a circle. There's some circles in this kit that we can use. Rusty hinge gets all over you. And you have to be careful because if it touches something else, your dauber, you'll have rusty hinge on that. Okay, so let's do our flip down. Do we want it along the edge? I want to do it in just a little bit. That is so pretty. Pretty, pretty. Yeah, that's right. You're not going to see this. It's like, wait a minute. So now we've got this flip up. Now we have to add our magnet. I'm almost out. I have to order some. I think I only have like 12. Circle's going to be over our branch. That's all right, because our branch is going to be upside down. Instead of putting a circle, we can put a pocket. And by flipping it down, it made the text upside down. But there's nothing we could really do about that except to have printed it opposite, you know, backwards or upside down on the page. So let's close this. Okay, let's put a pocket on here. Are we going to have enough left? No. Now we're going to have a small project, and we have lots of ephemera. So I'd like to take the last video and come back and do the decorating. If not, I'll do it off camera. Now, thinking we can take this little part and put it here and put a little tag in there. So let's get this inked up. Should we make it a hidden pocket or not? No, it doesn't matter because the pattern's not going to match up. See how brown that looks anyway, like a golden brown, instead of the orangey color that Rusty Hinge kind of is if you just put it on a cream or white colored paper. You know, these pictures looked stunning against black. I almost did black. Pages. Came this close, this close. We have some tabs as well, some cream colored tabs that will ink up as we need them. My hands are cold, that's why I still have my hand warmers on even though my thumbs are not in there. Plus I forgot to take them off. Okay. I'm going to put this across here. I like to see what I've got after I've done a few pages before I put on the ephemera. I know that's weird, but I don't want to do it and then go back and go, oh, that would have looked so much better on that page. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do it that weird way. Sometimes I'll do all the pages first, like this, and then come back and do them. All right, now I'm going to use this as the card, and we're going to decorate it. So we want to put it on this. It's going to be very close, isn't it? If it's going to be that close, why don't we cut the black part off? Oh, what I was going to say, besides the printing, be careful when you're cutting them in half. Fold it in half and make a little crease right here that you can lay on your paper trimmer so you know where to cut it. And the reason I say that is because the center, what looks like the center of this is not the center of the paper. So I had cut a couple of the non-cream colored ones wrong. I cut one of the cream colored ones wrong. And so there's a few of these that are about a 1/16 smaller. Anyway. So just be careful in the way you trim them. Don't eyeball it, measure it. Let's see now. Yeah, that works for me. Now, do we want it to be taller than the flip up or not? Yes. I like the colors. I was wondering what was going to happen. think this is going to make some nice layering for us. We still have to decide what we're going to do here since these are upside down now. I think we should just go ahead and make a pocket for it. Don't have any scraps yet. I mean, not a single one. Just the little piece I just now cut off the top. Maybe could have gone with a different paper than this one. But I think it would have made it too much of it all matchy-matchy. This way we've got the colors. We have some pockets that came with the kit. We also have, no, because then you would still see the leaves. Can't turn these sideways. She did give us, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but on the ephemera page, she will, Natalie will, in with the ephemera, there are big ones, like tags and little name things and things like that throughout the ephemera. And then there's one page in the ephemera that's a small version of the other elements. So that's nice. That's why I have this little bitty envelope and this great big envelope that match, and the little cards that go inside. Yeah, no, we can't do that. I mean, we could. That really would not match. And this writing would be right side up and that's upside down. So it looks like we're going to have to wait until we get a scrap. And hope that I remember. Where are the circles? Could just go ahead and put a circle on. Now we've got large circles and small circles. Here's the little bitty ones that came on the little bitty page. Whoops. And here are the bigger ones that look like wax seals. There was a couple of places that we could have put a wax seal on the first and second page, but it would have interfered with our magnets. Now, let's see. I just don't like it. I think we're just going to need a pocket made out of this blue paper. What about our off prints? Let's put these back. So we have these. There it is right there. And these are the non-UK ones. So I can cut these up. And then we can fix the berries. So we can cut the berries to make a pocket and then flip them around to make them the right way up. Why don't we do that? So we'll take... Let's trim the papers off. I didn't want to get them confused with the other ones. But with these, it doesn't really matter. Oh, I don't know if I remembered to say, you have to trim the tops of these down to make them the shorter height. of these for the A5, A4. You know, I've got a chart, and I looked at it, so I would make sure to remember what it was. A5. Pretty sure. Alright, now, here's the question. Okay, we want to make the pocket this way. So let's make it a little bit deeper. It's okay that I missed a little bit of that white right there. Cut it here. And then we'll cut it here. So we'll have the writing going two ways, but this mark here. Oh, come on now. And let's make it this deep. Now we have a couple scraps. Okay, now let's ink these. And I will stencil this off camera, and then I'll show you next time and show you what I did, because I've already got something in mind. See, this looks rusty anyway. Makes me so mad about that lighter colored line on there. I'm not printing them a fourth time. I'm just not. You know, I don't mean to say this in a, like, I don't want to do my very best sort of tone. But, and the lines look fine. They're even. They're lined up. You know, it could be a way for you to write on it. Write on it this way. But this book is going to go on my shelf, and that's where it'll stay. If I was going to sell this book, then of course I would reprint them and go back because of the cream color. Lines. Then, of course, we'll put something on the front of the card. And then we have some taller tags. Put that in there. Yeah, that won't fit in there. Okay, I will figure out a card. We have all these. One of these will probably fit. So that's that page for right now. So let's put it in our book. Nothing fancy, but it's still pretty. I don't have to make a super fancy one all the time. In the back of my mind, I'm going, yes, I do, yes, I do. That's my inner cockroach, right? My inner mimic. That actually sounds good, my inner mimic. Because it's me, but it's not me. It's mimicking me. Yes, I think I definitely like it. So let's glue it on here and see what we've got. I like it. I think it's very pretty. We can balance this out with something down here if we like. Maybe one of those circles with something behind it. Maybe I'll break out that raffia and use that. Okay, so now page 2 is simple, and I've already inked everything. We're just going to do an envelope stack. Like so. And we're going to put it where the point meets the corner of this one. And we're just going to glue the sides together until we get to the bottom one, which will glue all 3 sides. And we're going to put it about here on the page. Wish I had one more pocket. Do I have one more of those pockets? I do. Let's go up one more. Let me ink this one. Did you think I was going to forget? I did. But basically we're just, because these have the borders, which I love that Natalie does that, my scan and cut these out, no problemo, every single thing. I didn't have to scan twice. I didn't have to try to cut twice. Nothing, just worked out perfectly. I love it. So, I wonder if we should have a lighter page. Maybe this one would work. What about this one? I don't think I really like the patterns with that. In fact, we can make these taller. Let's just stick with our original plan. How is this one a different size? Is this a smaller one? No. Okay, so we know we want it glued from here down. And then this one's going to be straight across, so it's going to be about there down. And the reason we're not gluing across the bottom is, of course, so the card will fit, each card will fit all the way down. So now we're going to put this on here like so. Oh, how did I do that so wrong? You want to make sure they line up. I mean, you can go back and trim it a little bit, but... And then we got this one. Because they did do it down farther. I like it better. Very nice. I do like it better. So then we're just going to do here. And then from here, just there. I'm going to line the point up. Line this up straight. Got a little glue coming out. Oh, darn it. Okay. So we want the glue to go all the way down here. And then just here. Why didn't I think of this before? And we want this one to be glued across the bottom. Actually ready to glue it on the page. Okay. Yeah, I smeared that glue across there. On glass, if you're using Fabri-Tac, you can just do like this when it's wet and roll it right up and it'll come right off. Now we want to go across here. What if we did this up this side? We had the buttons there and replaced them with real buttons. I got out some brown buttons. I didn't ink the paper. Because I changed it. I don't know. We're just going to call the project something, maybe just autumn. Something I can remember and carry it across all the videos. So I vote just autumn. One of those little spider webs going across here. Very nice. And then we'll take 3 buttons. I like that one. I'm thinking we could do 3 different sizes. Or the same size in the centers. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, that's the same as that one. And then that one. Okay, let's try that. Let's see how good our fabric tack works. So see, that's going to give us some thickness right there. So we're going to have to set this somewhere to dry, I think, before we put it in the book. Okay. Looks like it's going to hold it. And I realize the pattern on this one is the same all the way around, but I'm going by the buttonholes. I probably should have sewn some thread in the buttonholes. Oh, is this one? I think it is. All right, I'll find another one to go down here in the meantime. You know what I could do? I could flip it over, make it brown. That's the same one as this, but just flipped over. I've got that one, but it's too small. I've got this dark one, which would have worked, but I should have put it in the, it's not big enough. So, since we know this one's big enough, we'll just flip it over. In fact, I'm going to take this one off and glue it down here. We'll put the plain one in the center. This one's going to have glue all the way around the edge because it it sticks up in the center. So putting glue in the center isn't going to really do us any good. Here we go. I can live with that. Yeah, that's pretty dry already. Okay, and then I'll glue this in the book as soon as it's dry. And then we've got tags that will fit in here. Plenty of tags. And then I'll put little, oh look, we have tags that match the pockets, and we can just put them in different alternating pockets. Not 4. We need to use these 2. And I'll come back and ink them and poke the holes out. Alright, that one's bigger, so it needs to go in the top. May need to shorten one or look in our smaller ones. Maybe we could look in our different sized ones. Alright, we have 2 minutes. So I will let you go for this time, and I'll see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me, okay? All right, thanks for stopping in. Bye-bye.